Hello, everyone. This is Dan Gramza, and welcome to dangramza.com Market Studies from Monday, October 27th. On Friday, we saw a market here, and the S&P we see a market that wants to stay long going into the weekend. Inflation was 3%. They were expecting 3.1%, and it was 0.1% higher than what we had in September. Or August. Let's take a look at what's happening here. Technically, the S&P is in an uptrend. If you haven't seen these videos before, it's a daily chart we're looking at in a candle format. The concept is a swing trade. So you're trying to capture pieces of this movement. A dashed line means that something had happened earlier in the week. A solid line means that's active. And so red means sell, green means buy. So from this buy level to that sell level, just to give you an idea, that is $4,300 a contract. And again, I'm giving you those numbers just so you have a feel for the magnitude of change that you'll see in these markets. Over in the NASDAQ market, that's $2,760 a contract. Again, follow through is expected. Over here in the Dow, just to give you a few references, this dollar difference buy to sell level is $1,375 a contract. A smaller one is $375 a contract. Let's move on and let's take a look at the Russell. It's the weakest out of all the indices that we've looked at. Dollar difference buy to sell level in that market, $1,450 a contract. I'm looking for a sideways move in that market. The euro, the dollar got a little bit stronger, but now we see the euro trying to firm up. But the dollar did get stronger as it backed off. The dollar difference here, $512.50. And I look for a sideways move. I think the Swissie's in the same boat. Dollar difference buy to sell level in that market is $1,837.50. This difference is $275 a contract. Now, I want to point out to you that green line would represent a buy level. That would be the concept. But notice that we closed below it. So if someone was long from that buy level, it is losing money on the close. Let's see what's happening in the Japanese yen. Here, dollar difference buy to sell level is $675 a contract. Dollar difference sell to buy level, $775 a contract. But again, look what happened here. On the buy side, it did move in a favorable direction, but it did not close that way. It closed underwater. So something you and I should be aware of, that we always want to monitor our risk management in any position. The Aussie dollar here, dollar difference is $80 a contract. And what are we looking for? A sideways move in that market. And British pound, excuse me, I just said Bitcoin. British pound, that difference up here is $143.25. And let's move on to the next one. Sellers are still here. It's approaching levels that buyers may return to that market. Now, Canadian dollar, $140 here. And again, if you're a seller here, it moved in your favor, but right now it's basically break even on the close. We look at what's happening with Bitcoin. That's a market that's really not sure what to do. A dollar difference here between that sell to this buy level, the dash line, is $5,025 a contract. Difference from the buy level to that sell level is $4,450 a contract. I'm looking for an inside day in that market. Same thing here for the 10-year notes, and the 30-year bonds traded above its sell level, then broke to the downside. Dollar difference by the sell level, $250 a contract. Now gold. It's a market that's been very interesting. Dollar difference buy to sell at the highs there is $3,400 a contract. Dollar difference from that red down to that green line is 13,200. I'm looking for a sideways move in that market. Same thing here for silver. Dollar difference between the sell and buy level there. Or let's do this one. The sell to buy level there, $10,005 a contract. Well, what about what's happening with copper? I'm suspect of this fundamentally. Dollar difference here between these two lines is $250 a contract. And between this sell level to that buy level, that's $500 a contract. Sideways move is what I'm looking for. And, I feel that way about crude. Fundamental tension is positive. I think the fundamental reality is not so positive, so I'm skeptical of a long position. Feel the same way about nat gas. It's trying to figure out what to do. The buy level was breached just by a tick or two, but it closed weaker. That one closed underwater as well. So you want to be careful there. Dollar difference here, $500 a contract. Soybeans got mixed results fundamentally on a global basis, but buyers are here. They're taking a breath going into the weekend. Look for continuation to the upside. Corn, look for a down move in that market on Monday. Dollar difference here is $300 a contract. It's what I call a neutral zone trade, so I'm not looking for a big rally or break in that market. Now, wheat, difference from the sell to buy level, that's $150 a contract. Look for a sideways move on Monday. Well, those are my thoughts for today. Thank you for sharing your day with me. Look forward to being with you on Monday. Have a terrific weekend and take care.